Welcome to the Rugs to Riches show. Grab a drink and get comfortable. The live show is about to start.
Welcome. Hey, it's another Monday. As you can see, we're starting on time. It's funny how AG's not here, and yet we start on time. Maybe, just maybe it's not me. Most time it's me. But anyway, welcome to the show. AG's on a cruise. Hopefully he's having fun. But I do have a couple guests on the show. We got welcome back.
Hey,
what's up, guys? It's the EZmanager / Easy Money guys. What's going on, y'all?
Same old stuff.
Nice. Yep. Welcome to Monday.
It's been a while. Hadn't got to talk to you in a while. Doing good?
Yeah. I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well. Just busy. Keep running from one thing to the next.
I hear you. TGC, how's school going?
Good. I mean, I'm out for the summer now, but
no summer classes or anything.
Nope.
Yeah. My kids actually just started some summer school classes. One's in driver's ed and one's in Spanish. So
nice. My younger one, Oliver, he actually graduated high school in May as a junior, and did not decide to do this until about 4 weeks before graduation, and then figured out that he could do it. It was possible, and then did it. And so that's been kind of interesting and fun.
Yeah, I think my oldest is going to be a senior this year, and I feel like he's pretty much got just about every. I think it's like 1 or 2 classes he's going to take. So his senior year is going to be kind of weird.
That's how senior years are supposed to be, blow-offs.
Well, he's on the high school. He's on the high school baseball team too, so they keep him pretty busy.
Oh, for sure. We had a mass communications class that was like the class to be in. And this is back in the late 90s. And I was the only one in the school that could actually run the video editing equipment back then, because it was all PC based back then instead of being the actual boards that we all learned on. And so I was the only one that could figure out how to run it. And so my senior year, I was in mass communications for every class unless one other specific teacher needed me in her class for something tech related that I was supposed to be in that hour. And so literally it was like 5 straight hours of mass comm, and then I left and went to work at a bank. But yeah, pretty awesome, pretty fun. Senior years are good for slacking. He decided that was a waste. He decided that he's looking at a 6-year program right now. He's going to go into music therapy. And so it's a 6-year program. And he's like, I can get out and start that a year early, and I can't fault him for that.
Sure, be ahead of the crowd.
Yeah.
Had I stayed in Colorado, my senior year would have been a lot like that. I would have been at school for like, I think 2 hours or something a day, and then gone to work. But had to come back to Florida where we had 7 classes a day every single day, whether you needed them or not.
That's great. I'm trying to get my screen all set up here and see that I can actually see the chat and everything. Oh, I can see them in here today now. I couldn't see them in here last time. Very cool. What are we covering today?
What you tell me? It's kind of your monkey. What's new? I know that the crew doesn't know anything about Easy Money, so let's talk about that. How does that work in comparison to EZmanager?
Sure. Let me bring a few things up here on my end, and then I'll get some screen sharing going. Out up here on the top. You guys will see me looking all around here. It's because I've got 6 monitors, and so I've got above and below and everywhere, and so you never know where I'm
a true professional.
I was on a Zoom call meeting the other day with that, and I was like, you guys are seeing a lot of my ears because I'm working on these 2 side monitors.
That's fun.
Let's see, present and share screen. Let's go with that.
I mean, Aaron, you heard him say that he was like the guy for mass communication at his high school, right? So of course he has 6 screens.
Oh, I don't know if I have a picture on here or not anywhere, but it's a pretty cool setup. It certainly makes life a lot easier to have it going.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start working on my office too. I'm gonna get a stand-up desk because I'm gonna be doing a lot more work from home, and sitting in this chair for 10 hours a day is just not gonna be what I do. So
I've had a stand-up desk for years, even back to when I had the software company, and my primary desk was a stand-up desk back then. Actually, I had 2 separate desks, one stand-up and one regular, each with 3 monitors, both connected to the same computer. And so I could just walk back and forth on either desk, and it's what I'm working on at any given time.
nice.
And then here, I mostly use it when I'm on stuff like this, where I've got to stand up and talk. It just makes it a lot better than laying back in my chair like I normally sit.
Aaron, you missed the intro. I said it's funny how AG's not here and we start on time. He always blames me and my PC issues, but half the time it's because he has to take a shit or something. But yeah.
All right, on that note,
we won't talk bad about him. He's not here to defend himself.
Oh, that's great. All right, so Easy Money. So we've talked about EzManger in the past, and EzManager is just a full-on, switch to a good test wallet here. EzManager is just full-on concentrated liquidity management, right? Like nothing strange about it, but super easy to use and really cool with great tracking, right? Like that's the whole thing with EzManager is the counting, the easy to use it, easy for setting ranges. Oh, I guess I hadn't been on. There you go. Now I'm on screen.
I'm like, maybe we need to add that.
Yeah, we probably should. So anyway, EzManager, most of everybody on here has seen before, and I'm assuming most of those watching later too. But so that's been our primary platform, and it is the primary platform. So ever since we first got into the early beta, we kept having people asking us if we were going to do something where we take other people's money and farm it and pay them out, like you guys do, like Farmer's Bounty, like PACA. Everybody always likes those. We're like, no, we won't do that. And that is so not our thing. But, in the interest of making things easier, which is our thing, we actually came up with, and we sort of always kicked this around as an easy mode. And the reality is this is closer to what EzManager was going to be originally in some ways. And so we have Easy Money now. So Easy Money is even easier than EzManager. It's
which
still
is hard to believe.
it is still 100% concentrated liquidity farming, right? All the risks are there, no guaranteed anything. But to get into a position, it's literally 4 short, simple decisions, right? It's how much do you want to put in? What do you want exposure to? What token? And then you can look over here and see the options for different chains. So we can get Bitcoin here or there, or Ethereum, and we've got 3 chains, or go straight to Hype, right? Or check BNB. And then we just choose if we want to go conservative, which is going to be lower APR, slower moves, balance somewhere in the middle there, and then aggressive, higher APR. And we can see the difference that makes in the APR just by doing this, right? And then do we want to compound full time, alternate, or collect, right? That's it. That's the entire decision-making process right there. And now you're in this position and, estimated fees and everything else. So one of the big questions that we always get is more information about these, right? And we have great tool tips everywhere that lay out what these are. And then also, you've got this little advanced button down here for anybody that cares to dive deeper. And we want people to dive deeper and start to learn and understand this too. And so basically, this is showing the conservative range. It's actually showing what that range is going to be currently, right? Which actually looks like a really solid range right now for over the last month or so. Or we can go to the aggressive one, and we can see how much tighter that aggressive range is here. Gives you a breakdown here of that. So again, you can get the information that you want to see. So the aggressive is running plus minus 5%. but it's not right there in your face, making it harder to understand. But we do want people to understand and learn and then graduate to running their own positions on EzManger. But the great thing about Easy Money, it's never pooling funds. We're not like taking everybody's capital and putting it into one vault system and trying to say that that's the best way to do things, right? No. Everything represents one single concentrated liquidity position, and it's always yours, always under your control. And so when you come over here to portfolio, we can see that I've got one here that looks pretty good for its whole $1 in testing value. But even once you're managing this position, you can deposit new money anytime you want, and you can withdraw money anytime you want, and it's not going to break the accounting process, right? Because the accounting is where it's really important. You can update your strategy settings anytime you want to, and that's just that simple. Just pick them there, and of course, we've got the descriptions of all of that. Come in and see your stats. I'm going to move to a different specific testing wallet right here that I like to use to show off the rest of this. One of these days he's going to close this position and I can't use it. So we can come here and look at the stats. This is a hyper EVM position, and we can see where the LP and fees has been beating buy and hold pretty handily here for the last couple weeks. And then of course, cumulative fee earnings, right? The history is just like what we have over on EzManager. We have so much detail. Everything is extremely transparent. So we can see right here from the position opened, range changes have happened here, and then the earnings have been compounded in. So we see everything that's happened, 5 rebalances, $7 compounded on rebalances, then the 445 compound there, which is great. And again, this is great information to know that's not confusing. It's not hard to understand. It's not too much in your face here, right? And so then on the advanced tab, we have a little more detail, but I love this view. The problem is that this is not changed range since June 24th. This has been a really good position. So it does not show it off well, but this view right here shows, for the last, 2 weeks or so, it's going to show any range the position has been in is going to show up right here. And then you can also see the range history of the charts. You can see where the price has been for the last 2 weeks in here. But for anybody that's not seen what I'm talking about here, we go to somebody else's wallet here. So this is a really great example of what shows there, and is seriously my favorite feature on the entire platform right here, right? So this is a position that's been open since late May, right? So May 26th, it's 100 and something days. But you can see where it had the starting range, went up, and then it went into this midpoint rebalance series and then comes back to its starting range again. So this is a fully automated position that has been through this many range changes, and we get to see the entire map of every range change there. It's just so cool. Like I said, it's my favorite feature in the whole platform, is just being able to see this view right here. And so that same view is available on Easy Money when you are using, when you've rearranged recently enough, it's going to show there. Got off to the wrong wallet. There we go.
One thing that I would like to add is, if you guys are on EzManager or Easy Money and you really have questions, just push the buttons. Like look around the screen and just push a button. It'll pop up and tell you probably what you were asking.
That's great.
They've done really good. They've done a really great job of trying to kind of anticipate. Like if I was sitting here and I had a question, what would I want to do? So don't be scared to just hit buttons. I mean, you can always back out and do things. I mean, so that's one thing that I noticed whenever I first started with the EzManager was, just click the button, see what it does, see what it pulls up.
There's a confirmation before it does anything stupid. You can't hurt anything really. And also just post in our Telegram group too. We live on Telegram all day and all night. And so really easy to get a quick response there for just a how-to.
Yes. JC's got the day, I've got the night.
Yes.
Yeah. This is Aaron's just voiced all of our opinion. That's awesome. When I finally get money.
That's it. It's true. Listen, we all live in that boat, especially with the way the markets have been right now. And so,
Thanks,
it's
Crypto.
it's mixed blessings, right? I mean, obviously, we would like for the market to be really hopping right now and growing a lot and everything else. But also, we've had a lot of time to focus efforts on development and getting things built out the way that we want them. And now we're ready for this rebound, October or whenever everybody says it's going to be exact date. And we're ready for that when it comes,
I think if everybody would stop saying motherfucking October, maybe it'd start going up. Like everybody's like October. I'm like, how about August?
Can't do August.
Let's just start a campaign. Let's fuck October. Let's go with August. Like,
no, keep griping about it. We'll make it November.
Right? Right? Exactly.
It'd be great. Hopefully sometime, and we've been saying this since February of 2025, this is going to turn around any day now. And we had a few good runs in the middle there. But now we'll be in a really great position as things do start ramping back up. We're exploring Robinhood right now and kind of keeping an eye on things on Robinhood network to see about if we want to add that network. And I imagine we probably will. Honestly, I'm really curious to see how the next month or so plays out on the Robinhood chain, just because you can literally see the outflow from the base network into Robinhood. And so much of that was meme driven on Robinhood. And so it's going to be really interesting to see if Robinhood can get established with better normal volume, or if it stays just a lot of meme stuff. And I guess over the last day or two, a lot of the meme stuff has crashed over there too. And so it really is, the people that chase memes and do things like that, they really do have no loyalties to any chain, right? They just want to go and chase where the current memes are and everything else. And
yeah, I'm curious with, how much control do you have on Robinhood chain? Like I got hurt really bad in Celsius, which, not your keys, not your wallet. And that's kind of what Robinhood is.
Robinhood chain is a straight EVM. And so you can just add it to your Rabby wallet or SafePal for you. And actually I cannot speak to SafePal because there's a good chance SafePal doesn't do it.
It probably doesn't, to be honest with you.
Anything
that's a competitor to BNB, SafePal is very slow to add. They still don't have full support for base, to be honest with
you. Which is nuts. Yeah.
Which is bananas to me.
And how much time I've spent working on little quirks of SafePal wallet, because half of them have been for you, right?
Well, I appreciate that because I still like Rabby on my desktop, but it just, I don't know. It's something about it.
For you specifically, you use that for Solana also, right? And right, that's the big one. Yeah. And so you're not going to get that many that are going to cross EVM to Solana also, right? I mean, you've got SafePal, you've got Phantom, and those are about the only two that I know off the top of my head. I know there's others, but those are the two that I know off the top of my head for it. And so, Rabby doesn't have that option. So don't use Rabby.
Maybe the EzManger guys need to come up with a better wallet. I'm just saying.
Nope. No, thank you. We're gonna stick to what we know. We have a little bit of Tyler, you want to go a little deep here and say what EZMarkets is looking at being?
Yeah. So EZMarkets is.
Hold on. First, we have a new platform that is in the works. I know this probably shocks everybody, but if you can't tell, we have sort of a whole Easy brand going and plans to grow that as we go. So EZMarkets is one that we've already started working on and just needs a whole lot of testing, but proof of concept is there. So now go TGC.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get it pulled up. That would probably make it a lot easier to. But anyway, so EZMarkets is not contract liquidity. It's meant to be kind of a companion to EZmanager, EZMoney, but more focused on directional exposure and hedging.
Where you want to show that off?
Yeah, do you have it?
Yeah, I got it.
Handy. There you go. So it's not contract liquidity. It's more focused on directional exposure and hedging. So there are two major ways that you can hedge a contract liquidity position, right? You can do it through perps, or you can do it through lending and borrowing, because you can create a synthetic short there. But with perps, it's pretty simple. you choose an asset right now, and probably in the future for this, just a super, super simple version of the platform, just ETH and Bitcoin. You can choose direction. So if you wanted the hedge, it would be short, or if you just want leverage exposure really, really quickly and easily, then you could just do a long, and you can choose your leverage from 1 up to 33x, choose your USDC to deposit, and then open, and that's done. And you have all of your details over there, and it's there. JC, do you have anything in your portfolio?
Nope, I got nothing anywhere. I'm all tapped out.
EZMarket's
there's 62 USDC here in this wallet that I'm in that's not mine.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to see? So we can take a $60 ETH position at 33 times leverage and see all this, work out how it's going, what it's going to cost. It's going to cost 0.03% an hour. So it's going to cost about $14 a day to hold this position at 33 times leverage, which what happens when you get up to the extreme leverage sizes there.
But also you're playing with $2,000 for your $60 of capital. And so,
and that's why it costs money.
And it covers that. Yeah.
And so,
but
go ahead.
Yeah. But everything's super transparent there. Super transparent, but also a lot easier than normal perp sites, because perp sites, I understand most of it. It's still extremely overwhelming to go on any form of a perp site in crypto. It's just an absurd amount of information that for 90% of use cases just isn't necessary.
And so this is not about replacing a perp site for, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to trade all day long on a perp site. This is totally about using it to offset and hedge your positions in EzManager. And so one of the major pieces of this that has not been brought in yet, because it's for me to do, not him, is to actually bring EzManager position viewing into this, so that when you open a position here, you'll have some of your EzManager numbers right there and can run some calculated things to show you how to hedge that and do that. And then once you open that short hedge position, let's just assume it's short, then it's going to automatically tie that position back to your EzManager position, so you can kind of track them both in the same bucket right there. We are not reinventing perps with this at all. This just uses Synapse on base. Is where you landed, I think.
Starts with an S.
I think it's Synapse. Anyway, so this is just it's a contract that links up with another contract, is all this is. The other piece of this, so that's kind of the quick hedging option. And like I said, EzManager positions will come in and get tied into this as well, and be able to tie your positions with EzManager positions. But the other thing that we do, a lot of people do, it's a very common strategy, and it also confuses a lot of people that don't really understand it, borrowing loops, okay? And so this is just an extremely simplified interface to Aave, or Aave, as we call it in Oklahoma. And you can name what you're going to do here, and you're going to supply, to Ethereum, and then you're going to immediately borrow back $500 of that. And so this lets you deposit and borrow in one motion for the whole thing right there. And then what you'll be able to do after this borrow is you'll click and open a position in EzManager, and it's going to set you up that $500 position and link the two together for you, depending on how you enter that. Or you'll be able to cut back and link that position later, and it'll just say link position. You'll click that. It'll show you your positions. You can do it. So like for me, I have a position where I've got a lot of my Ethereum there, and I've borrowed against it, and I'm farming it. Like that's literally what I'm doing with that. And I like to keep about a 25% loan to value when I do that. And so this basically just lets that happen, and would let me actually view that lending and borrow position in the same place as my EzManager position, and allow me to put the numbers together also there.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Do you borrow the same asset you loan?
No, explicitly a different one. If you borrowed the same asset, it wouldn't really do anything unless you looped it. Like that would be the case for borrowing the same asset. But in this case, the advantage is that you already have ETH that you want to hold, you want to keep your exposure to, but you also want to earn yield. You want to try different opportunities, or don't recommend this necessarily, but like if you need to bring money home or something like that, you could put up your Ethereum as collateral or Bitcoin as collateral, keep exposure to it, but bring money home that you could pay back later. You could
just make sure you got a way to pay it back,
right? That or else you can be liquidated. But yeah, this also creates kind of a different type of hedge where you're hedging against impermanent loss a little bit, because when you do this, when you supply Ethereum, you borrow against it, and you contract a liquidity farm Ethereum, then you're more exposed to Ethereum upside. If it skyrockets up when you're in a contracted liquidity position, you're not going to realize that entire upside because you're selling away some of that upside basically in order to earn your yield, right? If you supply ETH, borrow against it, CL farm, you're actually hedging your loss, your impermanent loss, which is literally what impermanent loss is, and you get closer to full exposure to your Ethereum.
While still earning on that borrowed amount.
Right.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. And it's more advanced, but kind of back to what you had said on borrowing same asset, there are more advanced borrowing and lending and borrowing strategies where if you feel like the market is about to go down a lot, you can actually convert what your borrowed token is. So you can flip that. And so if I think that Ethereum is going to get on a pretty good little downtrend here, then it's a way to protect yourself from liquidation, but also can lower your debt amount very quickly too. So you can flip your debt to Ethereum and just let that ride down from there. And like I said, lowers your debt amount, keeps you away from liquidation because now it's the same token. So it's just moving down in step.
Yeah.
And then you pivot back. It's essentially shorting Ethereum is what it's doing. Yeah. And then you pivot back to USDC at the bottom. And now that USDC borrow amount is significantly lower than where it was when you flipped it up higher. That's more advanced stuff.
Yeah, well, and obviously
it requires timing.
Yeah, there's no free lunch here. You are literally shorting ETH. Like that's what that is. You're borrowing it, and now you have to pay back a certain amount of ETH instead of USDC. So if ETH skyrockets up, now you have to pay a lot more in dollar amount. So all of it is predicting the market to some extent for more advanced stuff like that. And that's not that may be available in easy markets later. That's not planned as like an immediate.
Oh, the flip. Yeah, no. I'm just talking lending borrow strategies in general. Yeah. I'm not talking about through easy markets.
If you want to switch to my wallet, I have some positions that you can look at in portfolio on markets.
Get that. I got that in here somewhere.
And another good thing about Easy Money is if you use the Nest Egg link that's in the Telegram, Nest Egg will get a small portion of the fees from your
absolutely. So if you guys use the referral code there, the referral link, then 2% of all the fees that you earn are going to go right back to the protocol here. And so that's a pretty solid deal right there.
And then same thing, when you sign up, you'll get your own referral code. So if you have
that's true. And you can share this out to anybody and you get 2% of what they make. The other really cool thing that's a little different for us, because we do kind of have two separate platforms, they're the exact same platform with a different face in front of it and one more contract, but still. So if you come in on the Easy Money referral URL, or if somebody comes in on your Easy Money referral URL, then that referral actually locks in, they open a position, that referral actually locks in that wallet referral for both Easy Money and EZmanager. So they can't come to Easy Money on one, open a position, and then they go to EZmanager later on another referral and open a position. Once your referral is set by opening a position on either site, then it's set for both sites, which is really cool though. It gives people that are sending out referral links two opportunities to drive people in on their links for two different types.
And it's not MLM. So it's not like if you sign up and then you give your link to somebody else, Nest Egg won't get any part of theirs. That goes straight to you.
And listen, I'm not saying that we wouldn't love to have the growth that brings in, but it's just not the right way to do this.
Yeah. It's a one level referral, so don't get all crazy.
Single level referral only, because anything more than that and it gets gamed and it's just it's not necessary. I'll stop there. It's not necessary. Right. Oh, it's too late in the day. I might say something. So Tyler, talk us through the portfolio here on Easy Markets just to see what some positions look like.
So you can click on ETH borrow. So this is an example of an AVE position. So you supplied Ethereum. Let's see, what did you supply? You supplied 18 cents of Ethereum, and you borrowed 10 cents of Ethereum. And it shows you that. It shows you your net rate, and it shows you your liquidation value. So in this case, Ethereum would have to drop to $1,200 to liquidate me. So like $500-600. You can add, and same as Easy Money and EzManger both. You can add, you can withdraw, you can borrow, you can repay. Just super simple actions, always available, and tells you exactly what will happen when you do either of those. And again, it's this part of it is just kind of a simplified interface and opens the door later when I kind of get around to it and get linked up with JC more on it to integrate EzManager, and you'll have linked positions there. So you can see aggregate P&L on both of them, the actual, what difference the hedge is making, and the same level of accounting that we have on EzManager.
I think that's really cool because then it helps you to figure out how much you need to hedge for your position. So that's
right.
And there would be a one click button, adjust hedge, and it would adjust it because it's constant liquidity. Your amount that you need to hedge, your delta, is constantly shifting as your allocation shifts, as people trade against you. And so to keep a perfect hedge, you need to rebalance it. Now, the problem with that is that if you rebalance too much, you're kind of locking in losses or selling gains. And so there's a balance to it, obviously, just like rebalancing when you're on EzManager. But there is a level that you can do that can be beneficial. This is the normal, just kind of perps interface. Again, deposit, withdraw anytime, or you can set your leverage and do any combination of that to adjust your risk, adjust your exposure, whatever else, and then you can close at any time. Also, same as Easy Money, you can name your positions here too, and it tells you if it's risky or not. And yeah,
I like that. I hadn't seen that before.
And then kind of a more technical thing, but a big problem that this solves is isolated margin. And so if you've ever used AVE and JC's,
this is way deep in the weeds, but it's a very big deal.
Yeah,
it is something that very few people will understand, but it is a massive deal. And so Tyler's going to try to say it more simply.
Yeah, basically, if you go into AVE and you have some Bitcoin and some Ethereum that you want to borrow against, you want to supply it. You want to keep your exposure to it, but you want to borrow capital so it can do stuff, right? So you supply your Bitcoin, you borrow $200 against it. You supply your Ethereum, you borrow $300 against it. Now, in AVE and in most of these lending platforms, Morpho, Euler, all of these, then you're going to be, from the protocol's perspective, you supplied this much Bitcoin and Ethereum and you borrowed 500, right? Now, if just Ethereum tanks, you actually risk having all of your collateral liquidated, including your Bitcoin, that for you kind of had nothing to do with Ethereum. So your Bitcoin is actually dependent on Ethereum's price. Or say, it's not just blue chips. So you have some random meme coin in there, right? And you supply that and along with your Bitcoin, and now the meme coin drops to the floor, your Bitcoin could get liquidated because you have cross margin on there, right? Because it's not isolated in any way. Easy markets, where the actual contracts come in and where the contracts are necessary, it allows you to have isolated margin for your positions. And so if you supply Ethereum and borrow $100 against it, and then you supply Bitcoin and borrow $100 against it, Ethereum drops to the floor. Now only that position is liquidated. Your Bitcoin is completely untouched because the way the contract works is when you open a position, instead of just like doing it through your wallet, the contract creates a wallet for you. Basically, it's a new smart contract that you control that holds that position. Then you open another position, it deploys a new smart contract that has that position. And so for AVE, their mechanics don't change. You can't change that. But because it's two separate contracts that are holding it, then for you, it acts as complete isolated margin. Which can be really helpful for risk management. You can have some really, really risky positions without it affecting the rest of your not super risky positions. You can kind of isolate out your portfolio like that. And so it's not something that a lot of people consider, but yeah.
Definitely in the weeds, but again, it's a really big deal, actually. It's a real problem for certain traders.
If you if you learn anything in this podcast, it's the difference between isolated and cross.
Exactly.
Trust me. You only need to have it affect you once before you're like, oh, why did I just lose all my money? Oh, I see. I wasn't isolated.
Exactly.
Everybody will do that once.
We can check out a quick new feature on EzManger that's cool too, because we hadn't really publicized this at all. We had a discussion about it in our Telegram one day when it kind of came up as an idea and I built it. But so now when you come in and you move your range, I don't know if you've moved range lately, but it has a lot more information right there for you. Just gives you an actual value impact versus entry now, what's going to happen when you rearrange, so versus entry after. So essentially it's going to put you in an extra 11-cent deficit there for doing that. Gives you all the information. But this is what's really cool. You've got the advanced breakdown now that actually shows you a representation of the value gap of that range change, right? And so right now, it's so hard not to get into the weeds on topics like this. So this is all, and let's just call it value curves because that's essentially what we call it there. But so if I have this range set right here at the bottom of the price, right? So when I rearrange to this is going to be mostly in virtual in this case, okay? Because that's what we are down here at the bottom of this one. So it's going to be mostly in virtual, which is going to allow you to capture more of that upside in virtual, right? Now, if I change this and do it differently, and I try to get this real tight right here, and then I lower that bottom one out wider, now I'm 50-50-ish, right? And so I'm not going to get that price increase as much on the way back up, okay? So that's kind of how that works. So if I come back in here to move range, we can see now that I'm losing 13 cents on that rebalance instead. And then that advanced breakdown, see, this is a much wider gap now. And this gap is that representation of you changed your token allocation in this rebalance. And now at this range, it's not going to get back to your current price. And even when it does recover to the current price in there, it's going to be a lot lower value because you didn't have the same value curve to get you there.
And in this case, it's more about the capped upside because concept of liquidity,
right.
You get to the top of your range and you're 100% in one token. And now no matter how much it goes up after that, you don't capture it. And that's more what's represented here. And this shows you that,
right?
Like how much you're giving up on that upside.
Which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's
that's
this
cool.
was a fun addition on there. You got any questions about it, about EzManger or Easy Money or any of them? That'd probably be a good place to go.
I don't, because I usually just bug you when I have them.
Nah.
Anybody watching, listening? Anybody have questions? The chat hasn't been very chatty today, but we appreciate each and every one of you. I'm the same. Maybe it's AG. They always like to talk to AG.
Have we talked about imports at all?
Oh.
That's new from last time.
Hold on, you got muted somehow. Oh
yeah.
Casey, you're muted.
You're muted.
Who muted me?
You had to click on it.
Yeah.
I tried to unmute you. It told me I couldn't do it.
Weird. Anyway, so now we have anyway, now we have import positions in place. Let me flip out of his testing wallet and back to my testing wallet because I have some positions there, I think. So now if you go to open a position on EzManger, say you already opened something on Crystal or Revert or somewhere like that, those just stay in your wallet. You can manage those anywhere you want. So you can actually pull those positions into EzManger, and then from there forward, they'll get all of our advanced tracking and tracking through rebalances and everything else. And so you can come in here and you can open a position, you go to import, and the first thing that's going to do is look at your wallet, and it says, hey, I've got these two positions right here that I can import right now. And so I can hit that. And then I can directly enable automation if it's a high enough value to enable automation on there, so I can enable it no matter what, but I can apply my wallet defaults if it's a high enough value. And so this automatically imports it. and sets up the automation settings and everything just all in one spot right there, which is super cool. And then from there forward, it's just a regular EzManager position that gets all of the tracking and everything else on here.
Zero fee of any kind to do it. It just
it's a free import. We don't charge any fees on import at all. If you want to get real down to it, you can actually, like, if you're just wanting to try out EzManager, but you use other managers just as much or more right now, you can actually take a position that you open somewhere else, import that position to EzManager with no fees, and then look around EzManager, see how it fits, see how changing ranges and things like that work. You may pay some fees in the middle there if you take actions, but you can actually import into EzManager, take a look around, see what it's going to look like with your position, decide, hey, I don't want this, right? And decide that it's not right. And then at that point, you can come in to manage that position. And then in the advanced area, you can directly return that NFT to your wallet, which also is free, no fee on that. So you can technically come in, get a free trial of EzManager with an existing position just to see what it feels like, and then pull it right back out. Never closes that position, just one position the whole time. Really an interesting concept there.
Yeah. And also on return, that's kind of a safety feature, because return is available no matter what. Okay, because exit has some dependencies, right? It depends on certain being able to swap and slippage and all of this other stuff, right? Not to say that it's not secure, but in the case of market going absolutely insane, sometimes you're not gonna be able to exit super quickly. If you go in return, or let's say that protocol has to pause for something, whatever it is, protocol pauses, exit, you're not gonna be able to directly do. Return, you're always able to do. Even if the protocol is paused, no matter what happens with the market, you can click return and it'll always work. You can get your NFT back directly in your control and do whatever you want from there.
Basically, nothing's ever locked with EzManager. Same with EZMoney. I don't actually have. I need to wire.
I don't know if it's in the interface.
Yeah, I don't have that wired up. I need.
But it is.
It is in the contract. It's in the contract. I need to put that somewhere under advanced or something. We need some advanced statistics added here. This is expected to grow as we sort of figure out and get a better feel for what people want out of this, other than just extremely simple, right? And we've had several people throw out some ideas already. That's where this advanced section came about, is somebody was wanting to see the ranges visually that they were in. And so this lets you see your current range and everything else right there too.
So one thing I do have a question on EZMoney, when you pick your four choices or whatever, does it auto range for you?
Yes, it based on the selected strategy, right? Nice. And so right now, and this is subject to change as we see better strategies than not. But for the opening part of this, because it's a good time in the market for it, everything is running a midpoint rebalance strategy when it goes out the bottom, which if anybody's seen us talk much about this at all, and there's tooltips all over the site for it, the midpoint rebalance helps maintain your token allocations in there so that when the price does recover, you're not eating that impermanent loss of the price the value not getting back up to where it was before the price came down. Right. Yeah. And so that midpoint rebalance widens the range. And then the thing that's extremely unique to our platform, we also have a range tightening mechanism built in with that as well. And that's what we saw in that position a little bit ago, where you could see it getting wider and then getting tighter again and wider. And so that's exactly how this works. And so it does auto range. Different levels of aggression have different out of range settings for it. So I think aggressive, it's going to rearrange after 6 hours out of range. Balanced is 10, conservative is 12. And so, you don't want it just rearranging constantly, right? This is not about keeping in the market 100% of the time. This is about making smart strategy decisions of when you would want to rebalance and consider that.
Yeah. For the layman, what rebalancing does is, so let's say you're at a 60% APR and you go out the bottom and your range rearranges. It might drop you to like 40 or 30% APR while you're down there. But then when it recovers and tightens up, then it's going to tighten your APR up as well. but
Right.
you're not losing that impermanent loss as if you were to rearrange your whole range to try to keep that 60%.
Symmetrical.
So your APR suffers a little bit over the long term, but you're not losing your asset.
Your value is still, the dollar value is still going to go down when it's down there because it's still, the price, right?
Assets, yeah.
But the difference is that it's going to recover that value more easily than if you rebalance down low, and it's the value curve, right? It's exactly what we just looked at on that value curve right there, right? And so the midpoint rebalance helps to actually this is probably a great example of this. So this is what did that do? Like a 5% symmetrical rebalance, okay, which is a good range on this one. So, and this is what that value curve gap looks like here. Let's say that I'm going to do the same thing because I think it's going to go up, and I'm going to do a midpoint rebalance on this. And, because of where we are in this, it's going to be really high. So you're basically no APR here, right? It's going to lower your APR. But let's see the difference in this value curve. See the difference in that value curve after rearranging? That is the entire story in one picture.
Yeah.
And I'm awesome. So glad that showed that properly because I was worried it might not.
But now we know.
And again, it is. That is literally the difference there, right? Where, I could pull this down here, and if I kept this tighter right here, because this has been midpoint rebalanced already several times, but if I lower that top, I set the midpoint so it's really tight down here on bottom. I lower that top. Now we come in here and we look at this and look at that. We just lost it again, right? Moving the top bar properly with math is that's how you fight against that gap. So is by keeping that.
Also, if they can also notice that APR down there in the bottom left-hand corner, right now it's at 23 and you're keeping your value, but as you lower that top, your APR is going to come down or go up.
It's going to go up if I tighten the range, right?
Yeah, so right. That's what I was trying to
22%.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to tell them, that the difference is, if you're trying to keep your value over long term, you want that midpoint rebalance versus the symmetrical rebalance.
Right. And so here we go at this point to recover that in fees. To recover this gap and make it up in fees, it's going to take you a month and a half of running this to recover that gap in fees if it gets back up there again, right? So yeah, pretty cool example, really. I'm glad that example worked like that. What else is interesting? We've got a great education section for people that are newer and want to learn more about it. We partnered up with the DeFi Mastermind. They put out some great videos, and then they've got pro tips throughout our entire education system here. And then you can actually, choosing a pair, there you go. And so this will actually open up and let you watch a video about choosing pairs, right? And selecting what pairs you want to go with, which is really cool. So really great education section for people to learn from. Of course, absolute full and complete history. So I'm going to get up here and load the archive. I can actually pull up my positions from back when we were just testing in December through this. It's a little slow to pull from the archive, but we have absolute full position data. And so, here we are. This was closed in January of 26, right? Here's one that was for 5 hours. So I can pull this up. I've got my initial deposit, the compounds, any fees that are in there, the whole activity summary, all of it is available. And, that was January. Here we are 7 months later, and that's still easily, readily available right here. Here's a good one.
How long are you guys going to keep archives for?
Forever.
So
that's why it gets slow. We're keeping it forever. That's why it gets slow when you move into the archive, right? Everything on our site, I've not closed in the last 30 days. Everything on our site is blazing fast, right? And of course, things hang here and there a little bit. That's just anything on the internet. But, loading pages is so fast with all of the detailed information. Everything you want to see just loads, right? Where on some specific site, it takes you 30, 45 seconds to load the details of a WETH USDC pool before you can enter it, right? And that was something that was really kind of a top priority for me of we can never let it be like this. And so everything's really fast, right? And so the 30-day history is really fast because that lives in the same system as the rest of our data. And then we offload archive data after a position's been closed for 30 days. It gets offloaded to the archives, and it's just a little bit slower retrieval method is all it is, but it makes it to where it's cheap and easy, and we can just keep everybody's everything forever there. And that, like I said, that was a big goal.
Is your archive, it's kind of small on my screen, but is it like range? I can pick like 2026?
So I can pick my months. I could do a whole year. So I can go from December 25 to July, and then I can actually click this export CSV button. And now it's opened up a CSV file for me. We'll do it here. I don't actually have Excel on my computer. I'm ridiculously cheap for those that know me, and refuse to pay for software anytime I don't have to. But so
I tell you, Microsoft going to that one Microsoft or whatever, where now you got to pay every month, just pissed me off. Like I have actively boycotted them anywhere I can possibly boycott them.
Right.
Just because of that shit. It's like, how come I bought it fucking 10 years ago? Now I can't use it because you changed your stuff. That's bullshit.
So this right here is a CSV export of everything that you've done on the platform for the range you selected. And everything, the deposited amount, return to close, total return, net P&L, fees earned. So you break it down. The whole idea with this history and having this strong of a history to go with all of our extremely strong accounting, it's tax time. Right. And it really is. We want people to be able to come in here and say, okay, here's what I did at EzManger, right? You know, just like you're at a centralized exchange, they're going to give you the 1099 and the other reports and all this. Here, obviously, we don't need to do that, but we give you a straight list that all you've got to do is take that and you have all of your numbers, right? Number one, we can see the actual here, you know, since December, I'm up $24. Woo!
On your closed positions.
In closed position. That's an excellent point. That is, I mean, I'm only down 30% otherwise, but so is Ethereum, right? I mean, this position's been open for 119 days, and let's just
go check it versus HODL on our charts view. That's another new feature is LP
some of
versus
that.
HODL.
And I've only got 90 days back here, but let's see, charts, performance versus hold. And so, see, I'm down from it, holding USDC, holding the entry mix. And so, again, we show you all this, right? And this is part of
this is only 7 days, though. Too.
Oh, there you go.
You can like see more.
Yeah, but
it's still down, but
right. It's very close. Is what it is. And if Ethereum was still paying out any value at all, paying out any fees at all, really, then if this number, even this wide, could be 50%, but instead we're sitting here earning 22%, and that doesn't make for anything, right? You might as well be out of range. Which again, and if you're the type that wants to do that and have more control, this is a new feature. So default ranges set around a price, right? And so just normal set the range around a price. You could also set the range above the price and say, okay, I want to just hold Ethereum right now, but I don't want to close this position. You can actually set your range up here, and it's not going to hurt you in any way. It's not going to hurt your value. It's actually going to help your value curve. Be interested to see how this represents that. See, your value curve actually gets higher right here because you are choosing to set your range above the current price. So you are 100% token appreciation until you hit the range. Then you've got that stronger from the bottom appreciation. And so now when we look at this, that creates the reverse gap.
That's pretty funny.
You're actually going to earn more on the way up.
You need to change the color to green in between.
I do. Honestly, I don't think I ever even gave consideration that the value curve could go above instead of below.
Right.
And so, yes, we need to take that and do that. And yes, Nick, I use Google Sheets for everything. It just doesn't load CSVs directly when I download them. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of a not very structured tour of what we have going on right now and some of the new stuff there.
Well, can you put your TG link into the? Will it allow you to add your link to the comments or not?
It'll make me connect to YouTube. Let's see if it'll connect. No, I'm not going to do that because it's only my personal YouTube. I will drop it in somewhere.
All right. Well, if anybody needs the link, you can just reach out to me and I'll get you a link to their TG, or you can reach out straight to JC or TGC there and hop in their Telegram.
There's that link right there in our group if you want to just throw it on the chat.
Yep. Let me grab it.
And yeah, definitely join our group. We have really interesting discussions. Go ahead.
And that's to your TG group?
Yeah, that's our Telegram group. We've got a couple of really smart guys that love our protocol and hang out in there and do a really great job of answering some more technical questions. They talk about market stuff in there some. It's a good group. You know, that this is all of us, and I'm assuming near everybody that's watching this show, we all sort of came up in crypto together, right? And we've maybe not directly interacted, but we all have the same crypto pedigree, which was Drip, Elephant, Furio, everything last cycle, right? And a lot of us have all of that in common, and then taken a lot of the same licks this cycle as well. And so it's always really interesting. But what I've noticed about this group as a whole, that I'm talking about myself included, we've always done really great at Telegram communities, right? And having a good community atmosphere. People want to help people, everything else. And so that was really important to us for EzManager. And we've seen that on EzManager. Significantly different interactions on our Telegram group versus other manager groups, for sure, by far. So come chill with us on Telegram.
For sure. And I was able to put the nest egg link into the chat too. So if you want to check out Easy Money or EzManager, just click our link and it'll take you right there to it. If you are curious about doing your own CLP, EzManager is by far easy. Start with Easy Money because it's a little easier, just gives you the 4 clicks. And then when you want to broaden your horizons, you just hop over to EzManager. And it really, it might seem a little confusing in the beginning, but just click all the buttons. Like I said, right? You click buttons and it pops up and tells you information. And it gives you a lot of the information that you need to answer those questions. Yeah.
All these. The other big thing that we do is we show all our math, right? Like find another manager that shows you how they're calculating something for you, because they don't even know half the time, right? I mean, I've directly asked in one case, close with one of the devs, and directly asked, and he's like, I'm honestly not sure.
And one thing I could say is if you can start on a PC until you learn it, then the transition to mobile is super easy because you already know where the buttons are.
And of course, like Easy Money on mobile, though, is just so simple, right?
EzManager is too, once you know which buttons you're hitting. It really is. Like it took me, I think, maybe 30 minutes to set up my first range and everything the first time. But then it took me literally like, I think, a minute and a half on the second one.
So both pretty easy to use. And if you've got any farming experience at all, you're going to love EzManager. It's a dream if you've got farming experience for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to learn if you don't. And like you said, Easy Money is a great place to get in. That's not going to be overwhelming with, oh my goodness, what do you mean a range? You know, how do I pick a range? That's why you come here and just let it all handle it for you. You know, a couple of clicks, and here we are with 128% APR. With a really tight range that's going to go out of range, right?
Yeah.
So,
and don't get persuaded by that giant number.
No, do not chase APRs.
It really is sometimes better to use those wider ranges and just take.
I can assure you that this position on a conservative with that APR, 9 times out of 10 is going to be a better, stronger earner than this aggressive position.
Yeah, you have to realize every time it rearranges, it takes a little bit of your money. So while you might earn that 128, you're going to pay more in fees.
Well, no, and so actually, and this is something new that you may not know, there are no fees on rebalance on EzManager anymore. 0 fees for rebalances.
Really?
Yes, because that was honestly our biggest criticism, right? Was the fees on rebalance were tough, and they were.
It was.
They very much rewarded people that wanted the slow and steady, right? Because that was the best way to do it. We actually had one person that very much loved the slow and steady and carries large positions in that slow. I mean, like we're talking plus 20, plus 30% ranges, right? And But then, so now the only fee on rebalance is if you have anything pending. If you have any pending fees earned, then it's going to be that 10% performance fee. And that's the primary fee on the whole site, is we only make money when you make money after that initial deposit. And so the fees are, 0.4% on initial deposit still and adding capital. And then other than that, we only make money when you make money through fees.
Nice. Yeah, and that's really good to know, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And like I said, it was honestly, it was one of the few very negative points that we've heard about us to this point, was that it was tough with the rebalance fees in there. And, taking it out of the earned fees structurally by the math, it's significantly different than taking it out of the position value. It gets deep into math stuff that's TGC's area more than mine. But
I mean, basically, even if it ends up being about like the same to us, like the same take rate, then for the actual user most of the time, one, it opens up completely new strategies, right? And so with the old rebalance fee model, if you rebalanced 100 times at a 0.4% fee rate, that's massive. Versus now, there's virtually no difference in 100 rebalances or one rebalance, aside from you get to do tighter ranges and be more active like that. Then you've also got kind of the second order effects where, if you're taking money out of principal, you're going to end up slowly earning less fees. Whereas if you're only taking it out of fees, then you can start to grow more because your principal isn't being cut every rebalance time. Basically, it just, even if on some positions it ends up being about equal, it opens up the potential for a lot of different positions that can be a lot better.
And you still have to watch your value curves when you rebalance a whole bunch.
Right. Rebalancing is not completely free. We just don't, there's no direct.
It's free on the protocol, but we can't control what it does to your value curve.
Right.
And so through here we work to maintain your value curve throughout.
With that being said, go for the higher APR then. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, and again, but this is true though, right? Along that same lines, that aggressive, the value curve is going to look different on that aggressive with every rebalance, right? And so it really is more rebalance like that cause more drift in that value curve, even when you're using that midpoint rebalance strategy. It's still going to cause drift in that curve the more you rebalance there.
Yep.
So
cool. Anybody have any questions, any comments, concerns,
ideas?
There you go.
Yeah. Anytime that someone has a suggestion and they put it in the Telegram group, it's basically done within
a day or two, if not same day, depending on what my real life day looks like that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's
one
heavily
thing I can say
considered.
with working with these guys is it's amazing how just talking and then poof, they make stuff. They're like, oh, here, we made this for you. Oh, geez, thanks.
It's how it works. It's how my entire career has been built. It's a lot of fun. I was talking to somebody earlier today about it. Actually, I guess it was Nick I was talking to earlier today about it. There it is. But about how I really do enjoy showing off like that. No, we will not add Sol. We will not add SUI unless it's way down the line. It's completely different blockchain mechanisms and programming languages even. And so we could not use our existing contracts on SUI or Solana, where like if we wanted to go the Robinhood chain, we could, right? So Robinhood would be a very easy launch for us. It's just finding pools that we like enough to put on the site because our pools are heavily curated and we don't want a bunch of trash meme pools, right? Like we want people to come here and win. We want people to do well. And so we have a good mix still and have a few more meme-like, but really just strong alts. But yeah, and so no, it will not go to those other networks just because the technology is completely different. Ripple's not an EVM network, is it?
I don't believe so. I'm checking.
I don't think it is.
No, I mean there are XRP pairs.
The EVM side chain, and here's the deal. I'm not going to go get in the middle of any of the XRP stuff because I don't like XRP. It's been the same message for so long, and I don't know. Again, it's late at night. I'll stop before I say something else. Suffice to say, I'm not a fan of XRP or the team.
Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on and showing us all the new things. And I didn't even know about Easy Markets, so that's awesome.
Nobody does. Listen, this was an exclusive. Like,
bam, another one. That's the second exclusive we snagged.
I think I showed this to one person, or I might have just told them about it even. But
nice.
This has definitely not been shown yet.
Well, we'll have to push this video. That way we can get more people.
This is still a good ways. I mean, this is
probably a month or two at least down the line.
It's probably going to be early mid-fall for this one, just because there's a lot of life.
Just in time for that October release.
That's it. That's what we want. We want everybody to load up those 33x perps. Hey, one thing that is very real to say here on Easy Markets, there are 0 EzManger fees on Easy Markets. We take no part of any of these positions. This is totally a public good free service that helps people take care of their positions on EzManger in a different way. And so no fees additional taken here. No, we're not earning anything from this site other than your loyalty.
I mean, that's unheard of nowadays. It really is. That's crazy.
We just do things for the good of it.
like I said, I appreciate you. AG will appreciate you when he comes back. And anytime you guys want to come and hang, you guys are more than welcome. We do it every Monday.
All right. We appreciate you getting to come on. Thanks, guys. And see everybody later.
Once again, guys, if you guys have any questions, you can hit me up on Telegram. You can hit me up on Discord. You can hit me up on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube you can probably hit us up on YouTube. You can also hit up, like I said, JC or TGC. If you're in our Telegram group, we can get you guys in contact with their Telegram group. And if you check out Easy Money or EZmanager, click our link.
There you go. All right. Everybody have a great night.
We're out.
See ya.